It is a victory Tuesday for the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, we're still riding high off of Shedeur Sanders, off of Myle Garrett, off of that big win against the really bad Raiders. Can they do it again against the 49ers? Well, I got a special guest from Cleveland who's going to talk about that, and we are going to tee things up. What is next for Shedeur Sanders and these Cleveland Browns as well? Fantasy football playoffs approaching, folks. I got the week lucky 13 waiver wire ads you need. Stay tuned. Let's get to the show.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara, the sickest Cleveland Browns podcast.
Chubb runs, he's to the 10, 15, he's to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. There goes Chubb, he's to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Chubba Lubba Hub.
It's gonna be sick.
Welcome, everybody. How about them Browns? Woo-wee! Oh, man. Finally, some exciting football. We, as Browns fans, are so starved for a pass that would go beyond 5 yards and be complete. Sensational. And I don't care if it was against the terrible Raiders. Okay? What a fun game. I had fun watching this team. We're going to be giving out dog bones. And does anybody belong in the doghouse after that one? I don't know. And then we'll look ahead to the 49ers. And also, like I said, folks, fantasy football time, okay? We're getting serious. Your trade deadlines are probably done. So you are with your team or waiver wire, all right? That is what we are going to be doing. That's what we're going to be getting to and helping you out. And so, let's get to it in a few minutes' time. We'll give a best bet for upcoming Thursday Night Football as well. Hey, jump in the chat, too. We're live, baby, okay? We're live. Jump on in. Have a good time. You got your fantasy football questions. Hit me up on X at SickPodBrowns at AndyMC81. Use hashtag AskAndy to get those fantasy football questions in. Instagram and TikTok too at AndyMCSports. That's where you can hear the show and also my post-game reactions to the videos as well as on X. But yeah, jump in, share the link, and the holiday season is coming, people. It's Christmas time, and hey, how about this? How about a nice fantasy champion shirt? That's right, custom made, baby, Ric Flair style. All right, fantasy champion shirt, also professional fantasy football player shirts available on the Sick Media Store. Now, where do you go? All you do is you go to my pinned profile on X at AndyMC81, is where it's pinned, at AndyMC81. Click the link. You got some Browns, Ohio State, fun stuff in there too. But if you're fantasy football, if you're commissioner for your commission, if you're a past champion, hey, man, rock it. You got to flaunt it, right? And then the professional fantasy football player, great, comfortable shirts. Check it out. Perfect for the holidays, a fantasy football player in your life. Like I said, we'll get to some fantasy football talk a little bit later on. But let's bring in our buddy. I thought, you know what? Shedeur's rocked Las Vegas. I got to bring in my buddy, Dino. Dave DeNatale from WKYC Sports in Cleveland. Dino!
Andy!
Woo! How about it?
I got to tell you, I love the fact that I can still be surprised in a good way when it comes to the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
That I can still, have the same look that Myle Garrett had when Shedeur hit Isaiah Bond.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely enjoyed the heck out of that game Sunday, and it's exactly what this team and this fan base needed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've still got a ways to go in the season, and we don't want to get too carried away, but there's nothing wrong with enjoying what we saw on Sunday, because we haven't had that kind of excitement in a couple of years, really, since the Flacco fever run.
Sure.
That really started about 2 years ago at this time.
Actually, Dave, you're right.
Pretty close,
This
yeah.
is sort of November Flacco fever time. Now, it would take the Browns would have to win out and then get some help to get into a wild card spot. There's always a chance. And we're due for some good luck as Browns fans. So who knows? And let's remember this. The 49ers coming to town. PJ Walker beat the 49ers in that 2023 season before. So it can be done.
Yes, he did.
Right?
I mean, listen, I think you know the template the Browns have to follow for victory.
Yeah.
If you unleash the beast of the defense and you're able to at least, get some kind of offensive production and maybe mix in a turnover here, or in Gage Larvadan's case, a good punt return there to set up a score. I know, right? I mean, the Browns actually had better special teams than the opponent. They'll be in just about every game. They'll give themselves at least a shot late in a game. So, yeah, I mean, is 5 or 6 wins to finish out, possible? Yeah, you've got some winnable games. We've played the schedule game many times. You've got some winnable games on the horizon. You've got some tough teams like the 49ers that you have to deal with, but you've also got some games that I think lend itself to winning opportunities.
Well, and that's just it. And you know what? Let's take a look. Let's give out some awards for the games. Dog Bones, Doghouse. Let's go. Dino, I'm going to say no one's in the doghouse. Dog Bones. Just Dog Bones.
Well, it's all Dog Bones.
Let's start with Shedeur Sanders, who you sort of get, and Dino, to start the game, and I think you're like me in that we are so starved for quarterback. When he said in that pregame interview and he says, I'm what they've been waiting for, I was like, oh, you got me, man. I'm all in.
And I understand. Listen, Jameis Winston used to have fun little pregame interviews too.
Yeah.
But there was something about that with Shedeur that I was like, oh, this is a guy making his starting debut in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he's calm and playful. He might be ready to go here. So I think it was so much about Shedeur. He really only made the one mistake on the interception, which was a bad read. Yeah. He was able to stay out of that bad habit that he has when he backpedals and turns his back and tries to keep the play alive and takes an 18-yard sack. We didn't really see that. I think there was one time that I saw him do that, and he ended up kind of negating the amount of yards on the sack. It wasn't that bad, but
and he moved sideways too. I found, Dino, not backwards. He moved horizontally, which is fine. And that's one of the things that extended the play for that huge Isaiah Bond bomb where Myles Garrett was like all of us, like, oh, wait a minute. We can throw the ball more than 3 yards. Oh my.
Credit Kevin Stefanski, Tommy Rees, and the quarterback coach, Bill Musgrave, for a game plan that really helped Shedeur. The idea on a 3rd and long, okay, listen, we've got to, we're not just going to do dump offs, but let's get him out of the pocket. Let's not, if we're going to try to go deep, let's move him out and around and get him away from Max Crosby and try to go deep. I just thought it was a really, and they really were committed to the running game as we expected. And the Raiders did a pretty good job against Quinshon Judkins, but
I like that Wildcat.
I did too. I thought that was unique. It was a good way to get Judkins the ball with an opportunity to read the holes even a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. And I thought that was a nice little wrinkle. It was just overall. I want to give dog bones certainly to Shedeur, but dog bones to his quarterback's coach, offensive coordinator, and the head coach for getting him ready to play.
I'm totally with you. And look, we rag on what looked to be poor coaching outings and decisions by Kevin Stefanski all the time. So we give the dog bone when it's due. And I'm with you. They develop, and I was questioning coming in, like, they don't really adapt to things. Well, they adapted to this. Yeah. The Raiders stink. So now it's like, all right, we saw that. What's next, right? What's the next step? Can we see more development? Because, Dino, you're right. The calm and the poise pregame. And the difference is Jameis Winston. We know what Jameis Winston is at this point of his career. Fun guy. But we didn't know. And, Dino, I love me my Baker. I got a little Baker Mayfield feel out of that, right? A little bit where it was like, remember at the combine where he was like, if anyone's going to turn that team around, it's going to be me. Woke up. He even said the dangerous thing. I was like, maybe I can wear my Baker woke up feeling dangerous shirt again. Yes.
I just love that. I'm the guy they've been waiting for. Oh. I mean, I love that. Well, I love that.
You know that meme where I don't know what cartoon it's from, Rick and Morty or something, where it's like, you son of a bee, I'm in. Yeah. Like, I was like, man, you hooked me. I'm in.
Let's go.
The Johnny Money, the Baker pizzazz, woke up feeling dangerous. I was like, oh boy. All right. Let's go. Let's have some fun.
You reeled me in. You reeled me in.
I thought it was out.
Let's go.
You pulled me back in, right?
That's right. That's right.
That's where we were. Now, dog bones to the defense. Oh my. Myles Garrett, like Dino, we are seeing, and this isn't hyperbole, we are seeing arguably the greatest defensive player season in NFL history right now.
Yes.
For real.
Yes. On a team. And I thought on the broadcast on CBS on Sunday that Ross Tucker pointed that out. This is a Browns team that, because they haven't been ahead a whole lot this year, it's not like they've been able to pin their ears and go after the quarterback as much as they would like to, and they were able to do against the Raiders. So the fact that Myles Garrett is on a record-setting pace on a, let's be honest, a not great football team is unbelievable, with all the offseason distractions and the contract and the trade demand and everything. He's just playing at a high level, and I think it's really taking advantage. And I'll give Andrew Berry credit for this. They have put some talent on that defensive line next to Myles. You know, I mean, they are so loaded.
Mason Graham, great game.
Yeah.
Added a ball.
And now you have Alex Wright that's going to be here for the next couple of years and getting that contract. There's depth and talent on the defensive line. And Myles is really thriving with that, and thriving in this Jim Schwartz system that he's been, just so tailor-made for these last now 3 seasons.
He really has. And it's the records just keep coming. It's fewest games to get 18 sacks, and most in history. 14 in 3 games, most in history. Youngest player under 30 to have that many sacks, 120 and a half, most in history. And now all he has to do, because we need him to beat it in 16 games.
Yep.
That's the real one. TJ Watt tied it at 17. He wants to one-up TJ.
Of course.
You got to beat it in 16. He just needs 5 more.
Yeah. And that's absolutely doable. And because I don't want any asterisks. I don't know about you. I don't want any apologies. I want Myles to have the record undisputed, and it's his to have. And
that's his.
What's crazy about Sunday was, I think the Browns had 5 sacks before Myles got his first.
Yes. I was getting worried.
I was too. I'm like, man, he's not going to get in on the party.
Yeah.
But he did get in, and some of the Raiders' attempts to chip him and
triple teams
block him was crazy. But he was just to kind of put a bow on it, he's playing at another league right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that he has talent around him on that D line, Carson Schlesinger, who right now looks like is going to be the defensive rookie of the year, and Denzel Ward. He's thriving because his teammates are really kind of helping him lift up the entire unit. And he's really been the beneficiary of that.
Yeah. And things that don't show up on the stat sheet, right? Necessarily. Like you said, we saw multiple times, Graham and Collins pushing that middle in so that Geno couldn't escape, which allowed Myles time. That doesn't show up on the stat sheet.
No.
But that helps. And it's so complimentary. Denzel Ward with a great game. And Dino, it just makes it that much more frustrating that if this team was average offense, even a bit below average, you'd be leading this division.
We're having a much different conversation. If they had an average offense, you give the Browns one more threat as a pass catcher, at the wideout spot, and not have had to play musical chairs with the offensive tackles up really until now the last 2 weeks with Robinson and Conklin both being back. We're having a much different conversation. And unfortunately, as Sam Rutigliano, the Browns cardiac kids coach, used to say, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, it'd be Christmas every day. And but it's the opportunity now, stay healthy and make this last 7-game stretch or 6-game stretch something really to be proud of, and something that could be memorable and a springboard to next year.
And then it's going to be a fascinating conversation, depending how this year ends, because the jobs of Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry, which looked like they were done, all of a sudden there's a little glimmer. And how strange and fun would it be? The quarterback that was viewed as an outcast off 5th round, everyone hates him, whatever, in the building, which wasn't true, by the way, but everybody, and he's the one that saves the job. And then we have difficult conversation of, do you draft the guy? Shedeur the guy? This is after one game against the Raiders. People, I know he could come it could come crumbling down next week, but possibly it would be a fun conversation to have.
Absolutely. And I think that's going to make, for anybody who said, well, the Browns are out of the playoffs, I don't really care. You know what? I think you're going to be invested because you want to see, Shedeur, and you want to see the ups and downs. And if he does have a down game this week against a really good 49ers defense, can he pick it back up again? Can he, I was so curious after the interception because it was on a play that really, I think he'll look back and say, what was I reading there? That's an interception I shouldn't have thrown. And he was pretty clean the rest of the game with his throws. There weren't any throws where it was like, oh, boy, he risked an interception on that one. So he learned from that mistake. And, it's funny. The last thing I'll say about this, the guy that is apparently taking him under his wing and helping him a lot is Deshaun Watson. And
heard that.
Yeah, I mean, we saw examples of that. So I'm like,
earn your money somehow.
Whatever's in this, jumbled thing that we've put together here that we've seen the Browns do here to get Shedeur Sanders ready to play, at least for 1 week, it worked.
Yep. Dylan Sampson, dog bone, of course.
Yes.
And then we'll put a bow on the game. By the way, Doghouse Jerry Jeudy with the little loaf step, losing the ball.
Yeah, not great. Not great. I'll give him a mulligan, but it didn't look good. It really didn't look good.
No, he was trying to Deion Sanders high step himself, and not leave it to Deion. Okay, but this is what frustrates me. Remember week 1, we saw Dylan Sampson. They put him in space. Whoa! Yeah. Then the rest of the season, nothing. It reminds me of Metcalf up the middle, the old Belichick, right?
Yes.
You don't put the little guy into the wall. You put him in space. Look what he does in space. I want pitches out. I want what we saw there. And you see what the man can do in space. But for the life of me, I can't understand why you run a little guy into the backs of giant men. It doesn't work. It's never worked. I don't get it.
It never will work. But you loved on that. It was such a well-designed screenplay. I mean, and you were reminded of why Joel Bitonio is a potential future Hall of Famer. I mean, he's certainly got a resume that down the line people are going to really need to notice. But man, he got out there so quick in the kick out block, like he used to do on trap plays for Nick Chubb. And then you had Wyatt Teller and Jack Conklin on the right side, kind of escorting Dylan down the field. And you're sitting there going, this is how it's supposed to look.
Yes.
Exactly. And you put your guys in position to succeed, and that's what happens. So that's why I'll take from that for sure.
And Browns back home. Shedeur Sanders crowd's going to be hot on Sunday to take them on. I hope it's a great crowd there and that Shedeur rises and we can continue this excitement here as we get ready for that. Dino, we got to talk about Browns legendary quarterback Bernie Kosar. And I met him at 2019 training camp. I got his autograph right up there on the helmet.
Attaboy.
And we all love Bernie. What a blessing. And thank God he was able to get that liver. You've been following this story as close as anybody, but just so happy to see Bernie doing well.
I got to tell you, 2 weeks ago, when he first put out the video saying, hey, I'm at University Hospitals and, I was trying to get a liver and it was infected and I'm having bleeding problems. It really wasn't going well. And Bernie was always staying optimistic. He always does the matter, I mean, you matter. But it wasn't going well. And there was just such an urgency. If Bernie doesn't get a liver and he deteriorates anymore, we're going to be in real trouble. And that not this past weekend, but the weekend before, when we found out that there was going to be a liver available, suddenly everything changed. And I could just watch him do his videos on that weekend, and knowing that he was going to get the transplant. It was like night and day. And then you saw him right after the transplant. His coloring looked so much better. Yeah. His voice sounded better. I mean, Andy, it only took 5 hours to do the procedure. He didn't need a ventilator. They took the ventilation tube out of him when the surgery was done. And that was somewhat unusual from what the doctor said yesterday. And the fact that usually for a transplant, sometimes you're talking 2 to 3 weeks before they let you go home.
Sure.
Bernie was out in a week. He's doing so well. Today he went out and met with the mother of his donor, and
nice.
kind of a way to help celebrate his birthday. And it's been really, really emotional, and it's brought out, I just think, another feeling of warmth for Browns fans, because Bernie represents the last great era of Cleveland Browns football that we've had. And I know, unfortunately, it's been 35 years, but that's what it is. And to see him, and really actually almost 40 years, but like 35 years, to see him doing as well as he's doing. And, he was talking yesterday, it's Victory Monday, and it's a Victory Monday for me. It's been quite a story, and he knows he's got a ways to go. We got to make sure that the body continues to accept that liver and doesn't reject and doesn't have any issues. But the fact that he's gone home this quickly, everybody is encouraged right now with how well he's doing.
Just amazing, just amazing. And he's so positive. The positivity,
absolutely.
It's great news. Everybody loves Bernie. And we'll continue to track his story and hopefully continued health as well there, Dino. What a great story.
Absolutely.
Hey man, you know what? For Bernie and for the Browns, victory week, and let's go get another one Sunday. You feel me? Let's go.
Absolutely. You're back home. It's gonna be, it's gonna be a little colder. We're gonna have there's gonna be some snow moving into parts of Northeast Ohio on Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. So, it's gonna have a little bit more of a wintry type feel.
Football weather.
It's football weather. While we still have it. Listen, 4 years from now, we're not going to be playing in football weather when it comes to Browns home games. So
probably can't afford to go to it either.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
Not the prices I'm hearing. I'm going to be sitting at Johnny's Little Bar in downtown watching the game. I can't.
Yes, you and me both, my friend. You and me both. But I think this is going to be a fun environment. You've got a team in the 49ers that had to play Monday night, so they have one less day of preparation. Yeah. And I think the Browns match up very well with San Francisco. I think the 49ers have a much better defense than what we saw in Vegas. But I think offensively, the Browns defense can really make things tough for McCaffrey and that offense. San Francisco hasn't seen the defense like this yet. No. So, and again, you got to find a way, make something happen on special teams, force a fumble, get that turnover, and all of a sudden the Browns are going to be can hang with a team like San Francisco. I really believe that.
I'm totally with you, and we get Thanksgiving football too, man. Starting Thursday, Black Friday game. What a week it is going to be. Dino, you do such phenomenal work. Tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, and you're awesome to say that. At Dino Cleveland, I'll be, even on Thanksgiving, I'll have the Twitter machine out, the X machine out. We'll be sending us stuff. I'm off work the rest of the week, so I won't be writing anything, but I will be on social media. So follow me at Dino Cleveland, and you can read all of our coverage though of the Browns at WKYC.com.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Anytime. Thanks, Andy.
All right. There he goes. Dave DeNatale, Dino from WKYC Sports in Cleveland. And folks. Oh boy, we got Packers, Lions, little turkey, Chiefs, Cowboys, Bengals, Ravens. You know what I like to do? I've done this for years when it allows, is get a pizza for myself. I get barbecue sauce base. I get chicken on top. And I just sit down, 1:00 kickoff. And it's like the one day I treat myself to like veg out and just watch football. And it's so good. It is so good. I'm going to get our DraftKings Sportsbook best bet triple parlay. Okay. Coming up in just a minute. But I want us to take a look at some fantasy football options here, kids, because it's going to be tight. Let's go under the wire. And we're looking this week. Boy, Joe Burrow's coming back Thursday. Okay. So Joe Burrow, you can pop him back in. Now, here's the problem that we're looking at is we were without Jamar Chase for the Bengals last week. We're without T. Higgins this week. Jamar Chase is back. What does that mean? What's the common denominator? Andre Iosivas. I-O-V-I-S-A-S. It's like 10 ways to say this guy's name. 7 catches, 61 yards. Okay. Not super wow numbers, but the yards was up. The targets were up. And this is a guy that Joe Burrow has played with before and is the next man up, right? That's what we always want to look for in fantasy football. Who's next on the depth chart? Who's the next guy? Who's there and able to step in? So we're looking injury-wise that we have to track. I said T. Higgins, Alvin Kamara, Ashton Giante. Quinshon Judkins, it says undisclosed. I think he's going to be fine. Bam Knight banged up again, right? So you got, when I said Iosivas for the Bengals, 20% ownership, so still widely available. And I like this guy coming out of the draft too, folks. I like him. Size. Now, the separation and coverage has been a little troubling, but hopefully a Joe Burrow return can get him there. Running back-wise, let's light us up some Chris Rodriguez. Bill Krosky-Merritt, Fugazi. Okay? Nice little pop. 16% ownership. Chris Rodriguez. 15 carries, 79 rushing yards. This guy ready to go. Now, I'm not saying RB1 territory, but if you're looking for a filler, okay? I mentioned the Kamara injury. Track it. Now, I'm a Kamara owner in one league. I am going to be desperately trying to get myself a player who is available in 97% of most fantasy leagues, and that is Devin Neal. Handcuff territory. The not talked about handcuff. Devin Neal, he can catch out of the backfield, and he can step right in under this. It's a bad Saints team. We know that, right? So, again, we're setting our expectations. But Devin Neal. Also, Christian Watson, been talking about him for a couple weeks, still under the 50% mark, still under the wire, 48% rostered. Emmanuel Wilson, he's gone by now, I'm sure, right? And we'll have to see what happens, Josh Jacobs. But Christian Watson, it still is a Packers offense that is frustrating. The distribution of the ball, not necessarily consistent or overly predictable, but Christian Watson has been getting more and more targets. Jaden Higgins for the Texans. I don't love this Texans offense, but again, wide receiver wise, if you want to go in a little bit different direction, CJ Stroud should be back. We want to be sort of, a little cautious. I'm not super excited about that one. This is a dark horse. Okay. Chimere Dike, wide receiver, Titans, 14% rostered. So why in this anemic offense, Cam Ward is not startable in fantasy football? Well, Calvin Ridley is out. Ian Manor is banged up, still going the hammy. I like that guy, man. He popped a couple times and then he just kind of went down hammy issue. DK caught 5 of 7 targets, 44 yards, and a touchdown against the Seahawks. We're not blown away by it, but in a lethargic offense, we have to look. What do I always say? Opportunity equals success in fantasy football. DK should have that opportunity. Okay. So we look at him and then a handcuff to keep in mind, not to, just to sort of grab and hold, not to play this way. Ollie Gordon. Love this kid. Just bad landing spot in Miami. Devin A-Chain's been phenomenal. 8% roster. If you're looking for a depth add, just in case I'm having A-Chain, Ollie Gordon is a great play. Okay. Any other fantasy football questions? You get them into me at AndyMC81 at SickPodBrowns on X. Use hashtag Ask Andy on Instagram and TikTok at AndyMCSports. But you know what? Let's get to some DraftKings Sportsbook Thursday Thanksgiving best bets. Trio, Packers, Lions. Detroit 2.5-point favorites at home. Give me the Lions in the 1 o'clock. I'll take the points and the Lions straight up. Chiefs, Cowboys. Chiefs, they saved their season for now. 6-5 with the big comeback. Cowboys at home are a different animal. It's Thanksgiving. Kansas City, 3-point road dogs. You know what, man? I'm kind of liking the Cowboys. I'm like, see what the line is at. I think Cowboys to cover. Maybe it might be a better money line coming up. I think the Cowboys can win that ball game. Maybe you want to do that as a standalone. Over under 52.5. Put on your ticket. Take the over. And then Bengals, Ravens, the return of Joe Burrow. Is there rust? What are the Ravens going to do? Is Lamar 100%? The Bengals 3-8. Baltimore 7-point favorites. Division game. I think Joe Burrow keeps them in that. Bengals cover. So you make that your DraftKings Sportsbook best bet. And look, week 13, lucky 13, it's here. Right, starts now. Every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football. It's first down, touchdown, fireworks, anytime TD rushes, live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. New customers, this one's for you. You bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code 6sports. That's code 6sports to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. So 6 sports, use it. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
So there you go, folks. Big thanks to Dave DeNatale, Dino from WKYC Sports. Talk about the big win. Shedeur Sanders, Myle Garrett, Bernie Kosar recovery. Phenomenal news and getting you ready for the 49ers. Hey, fantasy football off the waiver wire, right? Can you need any help? Hit me up. Hashtag Ask Andy on social at AndyMC81 on X at SickPod Browns on X at AndyMC Sports everywhere else. And your best bets for Thursday Thanksgiving football. Producer Shane, great job as always. And to all of you, let's go make it another win. I'll see you Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, live here on the Sick Podcast. Until then, go Browns!
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.